Everybody, Jim and Joshua here to talk about some curious things going on in the Marvel Comics scene that also kind of trickles out into the movie stuff. But let's start with the fella behind us here. What is going on with Deadpool that has got your gears turning, Joshua?
He's going to die.
He's going to die.
Soon. In his comic book, it was announced that he's going to die. Which is, okay, you know, characters in comic books die every now and then. It happens. They make a big event about it, and then they wait a while, and they bring them back. It happens all the time. We're used to it. But last year, Wolverine died. Mm-hmm. And also last year, we got the announcement that later this year, Fantastic Four will come to an end.
Yeah.
And again, series get canceled all the time. Characters die all the time. But why this is interesting is that Wolverine, as part of the X-Men, Deadpool, and Fantastic Four, all those properties belong to Fox.
Yeah, on the movie side, the screen rights belong to 20th Century Fox. And lo and behold, all those characters actually have movies coming up in the next year and a half or so.
Imagine that. So as you can see, what we're getting to here is that it feels like Marvel, who make their movies about only the Avengers properties and Guardians of the Galaxy, that sort of thing.
The ones that they actually own.
They actually own. All those characters are, they're doing stuff in their stories. There's different status quo changes all the time, but they're still there. They're in the limelight. All the promotional images, they're front and center. The Inhumans are front and center. Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, they're all in all the promotional art these days. But all those characters from the Fox properties are not.
Yeah.
So it just begs, the question, is Marvel doing some sort of shutout on the comic book characters that they do not have the movie rights to?
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke there. What kind of reaction have comic creators and sort of the execs in the industry that you cover, the comic scene? What sort of reaction have they given to people?
Well, people have asked them directly in interviews, and they really just give sort of a non-answer, or they say oh, people will click on anything, they're just making it up. And I would believe that if it was maybe just Deadpool dying, or just Wolverine dying, or just Fantastic Four. But the fact that all three of these things are happening in sort of alignment, it's the planets are aligning to be a big, FU to Fox.
It's getting a little screwy. It's like, look, it's easy to be very cynical and always spin some sort of conspiracy theory. But, let's talk about one possible reason. Why might they not want to promote Fox characters? I mean, do they really want the Marvel Disney team to really get those characters back that much that they would actually cancel the granddaddy of all Marvel comics, Fantastic Four, and whack two of their most popular mutant characters? Do you think they'd really
I feel like it's almost because when they release a comic, in a way, it's almost a promotion for those characters.
Yeah.
And also, it's sort of cutting off new stories that they could utilize. But that's just silly. It makes no sense. I don't like it. I feel like Fantastic Four, to me, is one of the first comics I really, really got into. I remember Mark Waid's run on Fantastic Four. It was just so amazing and so awesome. I reread it a million times when I was younger. And just the fact that a comic like that is now not going to be made because the comic is canceled, it grinds my gears.
There's definitely a lot of curious factors going on here. I mean, if there's one character, though, that I would start getting nervous if I was that character, it would be Gambit.
Because he has a movie coming out.
Yeah, they just said he's got a movie coming out. So, if Gambit is the next to get axed, I think at this point it's pretty tough to deny that there's not an actual active campaign to not promote these characters. I mean, how far back are we talking about them suddenly not really showing up in promotional stuff? I feel like I was hearing stuff in early 2014 about characters not suddenly mysteriously not being front and center.
Yeah, I heard rumors about even the interior of the Marvel office was they took all the Fantastic Four characters off all the art on the walls. I don't know if that's true because I'm not in the office, but that's just it's just the fact that even made it to rumor status is wow, is that true? Is that real?
Yeah.
Again, we don't want to fan the flames on something we don't know that's confirmed, but going back to what we do know is that these characters are being taken out of the Marvel comic book, universe. I will say that Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman are playing a big part in this upcoming Secret Wars storyline that's going on. But after that, I don't know what their fate will be.
Well, it's going to be pretty curious times ahead with not only these characters, but other kind of ancillary characters in sort of the X-Men or mutant universe that Fox ostensibly has screen rights to. You know, there are some characters that they could, you know, possibly be sharing, like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, since, you know, Quicksilver is in both X-Men Days of Future Past and Avengers. So
that's another one that in the comic books, spoiler, for Avengers and X-Men Axis, that they changed Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. They said they're not mutants anymore.
Isn't that something?
So I would imagine they're probably Inhumans, which is a whole other theory that we're talking about.
Which they happen to control, and gee, they have a movie coming out later this decade.
It's a big conspiracy. It's all lining up.
Maybe, you know. All right, guys, well, let us know what you think. Give us all your paranoid thoughts about this whole Marvel and Fox thing in the comments below. And for all things Marvel, mutants, and movies, keep it here on IGN.